the international community ambassador is yet to define terrorism per se, because there's so much of difference of opinion, and that speaks volumes of where the world is headed. But in terms of having the conversations on terrorism and bringing the perpetrators to book, the problem over here is Pakistan. We know that these terrorists came from Pakistan, and the masterminds still have not been booked for this very attack. There is enough evidence that India provided. The foreign secretary met you and many other envoys recently, and also provided further evidence on how Pakistan is perpetrating terrorism. What is your take on how this aspect of terrorism emanating from across the border should be dealt with?
Well, as I said, there are no different kinds of terrorism. Any terrorism is not accepted, and there is a zero tolerance towards terrorism. And of course, if there are any country that is supporting terrorism, this should be eliminated, and the world should get united in order to maintain that. And no terrorism should be allowed. And of course, we should not allow any country all over the world to. This is something that the world should get united against. This is for us.
In terms of India-Israel cooperation, what's the kind of cooperation that we are seeing to fight terrorism? Are there any big, important, big-ticket items that we would be seeing in terms of cooperation on the front of terrorism and security cooperation in the coming future? What are the big-ticket items that you've seen in the recent past between India and Israel that have really spelled out how important the strategic partnership between the two countries really is?
Well, yes, indeed, Israel and India are key strategic partners. And we share whatever we have. As I said, we share the same hostilities, so we share the same knowledge, experience, practices, technology, and of course, information. Information is very, very important in fighting terrorism. So I will not get into details, but as key strategic partners, and I think that the mutual trust and the mutual respect that was built between Israel and India, which should be a shining example for all the world, how two different countries can create such a collaboration, such partnership, such mutual trust and mutual respect. And of course, in this sense, what we do with our friends, and both India and Israel have a very strong friendship values. We share whatever we can in order to help each other to defend ourselves. So,
finally, before I let you go, foreign policy is always a continuum, especially when partners like India and Israel are concerned. But how much of a role does leadership really play? The camaraderie, the kind of friendship that we see. How much of a role does that leadership really play in taking ties forward between any two countries? In this case, Netanyahu and Prime Minister Modi.
Of course, this kind of chemistry and friendship, strong friendship between two leaders, is something that has a significant role in strengthening the ties. But I think that what is happening now between Israel and India, the way that the relation is steadily growing and expanding and deepening, we now come to a stage that it's a stage that is this relations between nations, between people, so much affection and love and trust. So I think that now, of what will be the political developments and not relied on any individual or party, the relations between Israel and India are going to be strong and close and to expand and to develop. And what is happening now under the pandemic, now we see that there are many countries that isolated themselves, but Israel and India did the opposite. They just joined, worked together, collaborate, supported each other. And this really will shape the way and how we are going to work together in the future. And as I said, it's very important that the leaders have a good chemistry and friendship, but still, irrespectively of that, the relations between Israel and India are there to stay, to expand, and we are going to support and to strengthen each other.